Welcome to Rootstem Gaming, guys. In this vid we're going to be looking at trying to do some weapon effects on Titanicus weapons. These can be done on any weapons. They don't have to be done on Titanicus weapons. They can be done on melter guns and plasma guns, and even other game systems if you're wanting to try and get a afterglow or sci-fi looking, well, not sci-fi looking, but more of a realistic sort of looking warping on what would happen on a continuous firing weapon. I'm using the new sprue. This was a commission piece for Mills for his Death's Head, which is why of course all the armour's black, because the rest of his armour on his weapons are black as well, apart from the power fist, which is red. But what we're going to be doing is just basically putting a burn effect on these, and we're going to be putting a plasma effect running down there, maybe at the end, and maybe on the curls back here. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that with the airbrush. It is easy to do with the airbrush. It's part of the base. We're doing this as part of the basics. I think I've done one before showing you how to do a glow, but this is, because these are slightly larger weapons, it's going to be easier to show you how to do it. Paints we're going to be using for the burn effect, we're going to be using Dragonov Nightshade, Drukari Violet and Seraphim Sepia. That's going to be for the actual effect on the weapon ends. And for the plasma, we're going to be using Temple Guard Blue, and we're going to be using a white. Now, when I'm airbrushing, I don't like using Skull White. It's not fantastic, so I actually use Model Air from Vallejo. My hairy legs suddenly got into shot on that one there. And I did forget to get one paint out, which was Guilliman Glaze, which is going to be done basically once we've used these two. So these three paints are going to be used for the plasma glow, and then these three shades are going to be used for the burn effect. So to start off with, we're going to use Dragonov Nightshade first, and we're just going to put that right on the edges of the actual gun itself. So next up on the weapons is going to be Drukari Violet. All of these washes off, I did forget to mention, all the shades I'm using, I'm just going to be using them pure. I'm not thinning them down. They're watery enough, to be honest with you, to be able to apply like really thin paint, especially when you're using it through an airbrush. So Drukari Violet, again, I'm going to be going a little bit further up now. Sometimes I will catch the original bit, but I'm going to just try and get a transition. I do flush, when I'm using shades, I do flush everything out. Sometimes if I'm using a couple of colours just mixing across, I will use the same, just leave the pot with a little bit of the original colour in there, and then of course put some more of a new colour in and go across like that. I'm not going to be doing that with this one. This is mainly just a pure flush. This is in clean, and it's now going to go on top of that. Last but not least, on this particular process, it's going to be Seraphim Sepia. Sometimes what I'll do with Seraphim is just to give it an all over first off, and then concentrate a little bit further down, so that it actually brings it all together. And hopefully you can see that properly there, and that just gives it a nice burnt effect. And it's probably taken me 5-10 minutes to do both. Probably not even that, to be honest. Of course, you're going to be want to be talking on camera, so that is going to delay me a little bit. But that's going to give a nice, lovely sort of burning effect on the end of the weapons. Both, of course, have been done at the same time, pretty much as even as I possibly can, and when they go on Craig's Titans, they'll look pretty neat. Right, so for the plasma, I'm going to start with the white first, surprisingly. So I've got the white all in. It's basically just mixed in with a little bit of water and flow improver, and we're just going to try, I'm going to take the nozzle off that one. I'm going to put it as close as I possibly can onto these plasma coils and in these ridges here. I'm doing the white first, and then I'm going to go over it all with the Temple Guard Blue. should have when you've done, as you can see, I've actually concentrated more on the inner bits of the actual coil. That will come in handy later when we apply the blue. So the next step, I've mixed my own little tiny batch of Temple Guard blue. I don't like using the air paints if I can help it. I try just to use a normal paint and thin it down. This is a little bit water flow improver. I have a little bit more water and flow improver because Temple Guard blue can be quite viscous, and it can be quite a very strong, thick paint. Even though it is a layer paint from Workshop. So I've just basically made it a little bit thinner than I normally would, and now I'm just going to apply it all over that white we've just done, plus the surrounding areas. So what I'm going to do next, that's all nice and bright. If you want to leave it there, you can do. But I'm just going to run a bit of Guilliman glaze into these. And then, of course, just so that I can sort of dull them back down again. And it's not going to be a lot. Straight out the pot. Try and... can just... got a silly little shade brush. I'm just trying to concentrate mainly on the edges. I'm not trying to go into the middle. Yep, I keep crossing my hands, but it's 'cause I'm a lefty. Not bad. So what I'm going to do for final piece on these take a little bit longer. I'm just going to dry brush a little bit of that back into the top. You'll not be able to see it much. It's just going to be able to just to try and blend in both the ink and the airbrushing we've been doing. And then that's it. So basically nothing else to do on that particular weapon. And that's it. The 4 weapons are ready and done. Like you say. As you can see, well, not like you say, but as I say, all nice and done on the edges there. And of course, that looks like it's got a nice bit of plasma glow coming. It's just a quick and simple way of doing it, nothing too complicated, and they'll look fantastic once I've got your, them on the tabletop and really good quality sort of tabletop standard. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button if you wanted to see more. I do have the Noise Marine painting video coming up soon, and of course if you do subscribe before the 1st of April you do get a chance to win that model once it's painted and once it's out of here. So any subscribers, either old or new, up to the 1st of April, I'll make a draw, and of course that person will then win the Noise Marine. Right, thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.